How's it going, guys? Bringer Platoon here once again, and I have a set of games for you in the AMX 50 Foch, the Tier 9, not the Tier 10. We'll get into that a little bit later. And I just realized I have a shit ton of games on my channel with the Foch and the Foch 155 respectively. 17! That's too much. So, I'm going to show you two great games in this thing, and then I'm going to show you the three marks that I got fairly easily. Because once again, not only is this thing faster and more mobile than the Tier 10, but it also got the armor buffs on the left and right sides. So instead of being 40 millimeters thick, it is now, what, 70 or 80 or something? I'm just going to look up on tanks.gg really quick. You think with how much I researched this tank that I would know that right off the top of my head, but I do not. Okay, so yes, it's 70 millimeters and 80 millimeters with that little piece of track on the left and right sides of the tank. So that's fun. Yeah, and then the Tier 10 is 40 to 50. 50 being, or yeah, 50 millimeters thick being the very little piece of tracks on the ass end of the tank. As opposed to the Tier 9, where the tracks are located closer to the front. But this thing, if it had the 6-clip autoloader, this thing would be OP as fuck. Would it be? No. No, it wouldn't. I take that back. So there's two arties in this game. So immediately I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to be out in the open, but if I'm going to get early damage and at least have a chance of taking out these light tanks from being a nuisance later on, I have to go over this hill, angle my gun depression as much as possible downwards, and hopefully they'll bounce off the upper plate. Or they'll pen me in the hatches, but luckily I do get a bounce there, and with the good, well, the decent aim time of 2.5 on this thing, I get a free shot into the Centurion 7-1. Which doesn't have a very well-armored lower chassis, or upper plate. So that's fun. I've got the standard ammunition loaded right now, and don't you worry, I will be loading the premium fairly soon. I do believe this is a Tier 9 matchup, which means there's no Tier 10s in the game. I could be wrong, though. Really shows how much I was paying attention in the beginning there. But that's fine. Your worst enemy in this thing is going to be Artie. Artie can one-hit you, or make you wish you were one-hit. Because when it hits you, it'll probably damage your engine, set your ass on fire, damage your ammo rack, blow your ammo rack up, or just, yeah, do very bad things to you. So, there's a T-54E1 right here. For some reason, he doesn't come right after me. He's focusing on the 257 instead that just went to my right. So I'm going to put a few free shots into him. There's one, and here's two, because aiming is for idiots, I guess. There's three, and then, of course, the low roll, which is the killing shot, goes right in, and he is down. Fun stuff. So now I'm on a reload for like 30-something seconds, and that's fine. I'm going to be safe from Artie behind this building. Even if they are located in like K1, they won't be able to hit me. Maybe splash me, because reasons, but luckily I didn't get shot at there, so that's pretty good. Just going to wait for my reload to be done. And I do believe I fucked this up somehow. Maybe. I don't think I do. Do I finish off the tortoise first? Because that'd be the best move at this point. Even... Oh, nope, somebody else does. Okay, so I could have aimed slightly longer and tracked the WZ there. Don't know why I didn't. Don't know how that one doesn't track him. He puts his side to me, I can put another shot into him, and then what happens here? I try to track the motion to get some extra track target hit damage while I'm reloading, but it didn't happen because I hit the WZ's dead tank. So, it's fine. It is what it is. I'm on a reload. Just chilling, afraid of Artie 100% of the time. We have, like, no support for our base besides those three mediums that look like they're not even paying attention, really. So I'm going to fall back instead of engaging with my team down the JK lines, just to make sure we don't get capped out. And it's a good thing I did, because I don't think those mediums had a clue and had a fucking clue as to what was going on. But, yeah, like, they're all grouping up in E9 for whatever reason. Are they even platooned together? No. One of them's in a platoon. They're both in, two of them are in separate platoons. So that's fun. I get somehow a tracking shot out of that very midsection shot I put into the 257, and then I finish him off with the remaining 3 rounds, so that was a good result there. Probably didn't need to shoot premium, but I did have it loaded for the motion, so, or the motion, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care for pronunciation, but yeah, so it is what it is. Don't feel bad firing premium in this thing, considering your penetration is shit for a tier 9 tank destroyer, or even a tier 10, because it doesn't change for whatever reason. But yeah, unless you want to use the shitty derp gun, which is, you know, what some people choose to do. I don't know why people with full health in tier 9s and tier 10 vehicles cap the base. Look how many tanks are left. Look how much HP is left. You care about your win rate? This is why you care about your win rate. Because you're shit. Because you're afraid that as soon as you come across another tank, that he's going to annihilate you with little to no effort. And that's why you cap. Otherwise, what's the point? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then, I don't really have a tall building in front of me, so I'm just going to go back and forth with this thing, again, to protect me from Artie. Probably should have waited until my 6th sense went away, but I didn't. But luckily I didn't get punished for that, so that's good. There's another heavy tank to my right. Of course he puts a shot into me, because I had my side towards him. I know he's got a decently long reload, so I'm going to take that moment and go behind this building to, 1, protect myself from Artie once again, and 2, to put him directly in front of me, because I know he cannot one-hit me from this position. If he puts a shot into me in my side like that, he would bounce, because he does not have the gun caliber to overmatch me, and it was angled in such a way that he would have bounced otherwise. So, I put 3 shots into him, and then the Conqueror finished him off. And it's a good thing I hid myself from Artie there, because he shot at the building. Don't know why. Really accomplished nothing. But maybe it was just a futile attempt to wither away at that cover so the other Artie could put a shot at me. I don't know. That seems to that seems to be what happens in most cases with 2 or 3 Arties on the enemy team. Somehow they all focus me down. Because they see a Foch, and then they're like, ooh, free damage. And I'm like, hey, go fuck yourself. I would do the same thing in their position, but then again, I don't play Artie. It's like Artie shooting a light tank. Yeah, I get it's like your worst enemy in the game, but like, I don't know. Go for chunkier targets, I guess. If a light tank YOLOs you, there's very little you can do about it anyway, so I don't know. If it's a lightly armored tank destroyer, fine. If it's a light tank and it's zooming around, if you miss, you probably won't do much damage, if at all, unless you splash him. But even then, was it worth it? Instead of hitting a more stationary target and getting like a full roll out of damage. I don't know. And of course this guy's shooting heat, because that's what you do against the Foch, just to fuck it over as much as possible. Because if your 340 or 330 heat, or even 325 APCR rounds don't go through the front of this vehicle, if it flies high, it'll hit a hatch, or it'll overmatch the roof. But you can't do that on the tier 9 Foch. You can only do that with the tier 10. I know it doesn't make any sense. Don't look at me for that knowledge, or for that, to make sense. Look at Wargaming, and they don't make sense. So it's fine. The next map we're going to be on is Redshire, 1944 version. The only difference between this version and the regular Redshire is that this version has a castle in E1 and F1, and the area for like F90 and G90 is different because it's just weirdly put together, and it's got more rocks and more cover instead of being super open. So that's great for protection from Artie, but this is going to be a tier 10 game, so I imagine I will be firing a lot more APCR. Not to say that I didn't fire a lot in the previous game, but yeah, this is going to end with me dying, but it's going to be with one of the E100s left alive. So yeah, the E100 is the last tank alive, so it's fine. I probably could have gotten maybe another 3 shots of my clip off, but it is what it is, and you'll see what happens. He just loads heat and goes through me over a hill. It's It's wonderful. Although I was heading straight towards him. But we'll see that later. We'll see that later. Let's not focus on that now. My usual go-to for this map is to head up to this area, and then if I get overwhelmed and I see the enemy is, like, YOLOing this way with basically their entire team, then I will snipe from about C5 to C4 area, just so I can, you know, maximize my armor effectiveness, while still being able to contribute to the team. Because as soon as they pop over that ridge, they can see me, but I can back down the hill. Whereas if I stayed in, like, B8 with the rest of the heavies there, which, okay, they are advancing, good, then they could just plow right through me, and they could pop over the hill in the middle, like around D7, and just put side shots into me. And I don't want that, because in case my support sucks at D5 and C4, then they're not going to do anything and just hide every time they poke over that hill, enabling the enemy to get free shots on me. And I don't want that. I don't trust the team. I don't trust anybody but my own competence, and even then, yeah, I'm not very competent sometimes either. So, at least when I die for my own stupidity, it's the only person I can blame. Whereas if I focus on, like, being as team... What am I trying to say here? If I focus on the map and think of my team as competent, and they're not, I can blame them and myself for believing in them. If I do what keeps me alive, the only person I can blame for getting killed is me. Because, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not going to delve more into it, but it makes sense. So, there's 2 Iron Rains, and naturally, are they platooned? No, they're not. Weird. Okay. So, both of these guys are out in the open because they're absolute geniuses at this game. They must have thought their concealment would have kept them hidden, but one of the Iron Rains dies by our friendly artillery. Good shots on him. I got all 4 of my shots to go in, apparently, which is great. But definitely don't put consumables on this thing. Just take the automatic extinguisher just to lower your fire chance a little bit. And even more so if you don't have preventative maintenance on. Just, the fire chance in this game is bullshit. It really is. Even if it says 15% chance, there's still a chance that each shot taken at you could set your ass on fire. You know, twice in a row. It's pretty easy. I don't know how they could fix that. Maybe they can't. Maybe I'm just unlucky. Maybe everyone's unlucky from time to time for that to happen. But it's still dumb. There should be a perk that prevents you from getting set on fire. Like preventative maintenance. Like instead of being set on fire, maybe your engine should just be broken. I would love to take that over, you know, being set on fire and having no extinguisher. I don't know. Firefighting helps a little bit when you're on fire, but it does nothing to prevent you from being on fire. I tracked the Chieftain. I love what happens here. I put all 3 shots into him to keep him tracked. Do I get a free shot on this K91? Maybe he pops out and... Oh! I tracked him, and I'm spotting him as well, so I got some of that damage assistance as well from my team. Good stuff there. Just being very supportive, or playing the big support role, and then, oh my god, there's a fucking full health Super Conqueror coming my way. Luckily, I had support from B5, from whatever that tank destroyer was. He put a shot into him. Super Conqueror backs off me, instead of being super aggressive, knowing he'll just throw more HP away in doing so. So that's good. I've got a friend with me, another heavy, so I'm going to take this moment to finish off the Super Conqueror, assuming all my shots go in, of course, because if all of them don't go in, then I'm SOL. And he's going to take all these shots in his face because I got premium loaded, and I'm not an idiot. Yeah, he's going to go through me each and every time. Go fuck yourself. And I probably didn't need premium rounds to go through him in his lower plate, but I figured if he tried face-hugging me, I could just aim down on him and do the same thing that he was doing to me, which was shooting premium into my upper plate. I would imagine. I can't see. So maybe it was standard rounds into my lower plate because I was angled upwards slightly a little bit. I don't know. But, ugh. This tank, if you want to 3-mark one of them, but you enjoy having the big derp gun, don't worry about the marks. Just don't worry about the marks for the Foch 155 or the Foch B. Because honestly, it's not a tank worth playing right now because it's stupidly implemented like I went down in my other video, and I can't stop bitching about it. I really have an issue with it. Why is the tier 10 worse than the tier 9? For anything, except for aim time. That's the only thing that's different. Maybe the accuracy is a little bit better on the Foch B 120mm package. I don't know. I don't know at this very moment in time. But I rush him, and he puts a heat into me because my... I guess I lied in the beginning of the video. I was angling downward a little bit slightly, so that gave him an easier way to penetrate me. And as you can see, the shell entered on my right side, but it'll be your left side if you're looking at it right now. Right near the lowest part of the upper plate. A little white spot. But still a banger of a game, though. We got, let's see, 8,700 combined. I'm just rounding up. Maybe the actual number is a little bit lower than that, but it's fine. E100 dies fairly soon here. Not even going to bother skipping ahead. What the fuck is this guy doing? Is that another Foch? Wow. Good on you, guy. Way to not shoot him at all. That was pretty great. Okay, so game's over. 8,700 damage combined in the tier 9 Foch. That'd be a phenomenal game for the tier 10. But again, I say this thing's more mobile. It's got better maneuverability, and it just feels a lot better. So those are both the games. Thank you for watching. Don't know why I didn't show the actual stats of every player at the end there, but it's fine. And here is the third mark of excellence for the tank, along with some fun little emblems and inscriptions that I put on the tank for obviously purely aesthetic reasons. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.